Freedom 35, 5, 5, 5.
Dude, start the podcast.
Wow.
Welcome, everybody. Freedom 35ers, Cardano NFT podcast. My name is Tommy. I go by TLWNY.
My name is TJ. I go by Lazy T.
And I am the other Tom. I go by Lavish Bear. Do I?
Do you, though?
Not really.
Are you? You're not even the other Tom tonight. You're just Tom.
Damn.
Wow.
Oh, yeah, no TOT, no TOT.
Taking it back over here. We're dropping the other. We're dropping the Lavish Bear. You're just Tom.
Lavish Tom? Hey, at least I'm not mom.
That was funny.
That was fat-fingered the keyboard, you know? Over there, dude.
Each other.
Dude,
I don't think he did fat figure it. I didn't want to call you out live on stream. You're like, oh, the M's near the T. It's not near the T at all. There's no reason. It's not even close. Because I looked down and I was like, no, it's not.
DJ's just getting a joke.
Yeah. I missed the coordinated drink right there. I missed that part.
Harmonized eye, though, too. I like that at the same time. Finally,
God, boys. Well, what have we been doing? Well, we need to get in sync, man. It's been like 2 weeks since we recorded a podcast.
It's like the back.
Is this the first time we've all three been back on the actual podcast? Were we on last week?
Maybe last week's game week. Yeah.
Yeah, and I think
play with your pals.
It was just two of us.
I think I did one podcast this year. Maybe one, or I don't know if it's two.
I had to miss that one. I don't remember.
There's one. I missed one because of sickness.
Power World was fun. We're not playing Power World tonight. That's a shame. I was about to boot it up, play it on the side.
Maybe we play it afterwards. I don't know. But, another week, another episode, another podcast over here. A little more calm tonight compared to the live stream. The live stream Monday got a little a couple happy hours.
I just had one drink.
Technically, it was one drink.
One big drink.
It had a drink that for a few though inside of it, right there.
I knew it.
It definitely stuck out. I didn't think about it though because I was like, I just pour it up and then it'll be fine. It made for some entertaining content over there.
Egged on by the chat a little bit too. We were having some fun.
Yeah, well, chat, dude. I don't know. Was it Chatty over there? He was like, "Yo, this Tommy's over here. Take your shirt off for 3.8." I'm like, bro, what are we talking about right now? I said that's only $150. What kind of stripper am I?
He said something about that on Twitter, didn't he?
Yeah.
I think he posted it right away, and he was just like, "Yeah, this man's taking his shirt off live right now."
Yeah, dude, I got tagged on Twitter for it. I'm like, I don't even know what this means.
On Twitter, yeah.
I'm like, what the
Someone
hell?
said they'll pay to put it back on.
Yeah, the chat was great though. They had a great time with that. It was fun. But no, dude, it was a fun little stream on Monday night. We had some crunk little giveaway promo stuff too. So, it was good.
That promo music.
The promo, I think we need to do that for all of our giveaways going forward. That music just fits for it over there. And speaking of the music, dude, we just keep the little vibes going over here. Maybe a little quieter than normal. I kind of like the music. It makes me loosen up a little bit, I think.
Well, you don't notice the silence or the dead space here when no one's talking. I feel like the music fills that gap.
Yeah, and it kind of just brings my guard down a little bit. I can be a little more loose. Yeah. But yeah, no, Monday was a fun little stream over there. We got to talk, obviously, a little bit about some goofy ghosts. I don't know if you guys saw that comment. It's not there anymore. But
I did say they commented twice.
Yeah, they're like, this is the scam. They were like, it was like an 8-minute gap on the comment too of the guy who's like, he goes, yeah, this you could just save 3,000 ADA and it'll be 27,000 ADA in the bull run. And then like 8 minutes later, he listens. He's like, I'm screw this. This is a scam. I'm selling all my stuff after listening to this. That's like, because I was doing like rough math over there with like Tom early on. And I was like, yeah, they're probably getting like 14 to like 30 ADA paid out for the regular Gophers from this first like little run. And he probably heard that. And was like, screw this shit. I'm done.
But if he has with the tribe one, he gets more. I don't know what he was freaking out about. He gets significantly more.
Yeah, I mean, 3,000 ADA, yes, you could hold that and potentially, when he said it was going to go to $9, I'm like, by the time it goes to $9, bro, you probably would have made back close to that $3,000.
Easily. 3,000 ADA, yeah, easily.
Yeah, whatever it was, right?
But man's just a guru. He knows what he's talking about.
Well, yeah, I think he retracted that, or maybe just disappeared. He blocked us, one or two, I don't know. But yeah, shout out to the ghosts. I'm still debating.
Driven someone to sell.
No, that's got to be a first. We did the opposite of pump our back.
What the fuck they're talking about? I'm selling this shit.
These guys, it's too realistic. I fucked up. Yeah. like, oh, I'm way over invested. What did I do? I'm screwed this. I'm out.
NFAFA. I thought they said this was financial advice. Well, I
this is fuck that advice. I'm out. But no, dude, I'm still at a debate right now with this of like what I want to do. Do I want to hang on to it? I still need to crunch numbers. Really, I really need to see what they end up buying with this. Is really what I need to see, and then
hold on for a bit for sure. Hold on
But-
especially this one.
I mean, none of them have sold yet, right? The King.
They've sold none. Oh, the Chiefs, no. They've sold only 3 regular ones on the secondary for like all below min price too, pretty much.
Which makes sense. I mean, it's a high asking price right now. And
Yeah.
most people I think that did invest were, I presumed at least, were getting it to hold it, not necessarily looking to flip, because you got to imagine there's not. It's not that people aren't interested in them. It's just a high asking price if you're trying to make a profit on it. And there's not a lot of people that are out just spending that in one go on one NFT most of the time.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. The majority of people that purchase this are purchasing this to hold and invest long
Yeah,
run.
I think so. That's at least was my reasons for assumption.
There's a couple degenerate gamblers in there who are really hoping for that little bit of an extra push. Maybe they didn't like the way it looked, but yeah, pretty much most of them were sold at min price. These 2 were sold at min price, and then this one just 158 or lower. But there's a 10% hit on that, so all of them took a loss on it.
Yeah.
But the buyers, I mean, pretty much got in for what they wanted. And the collection still, I mean, if you look at it, there's only there's 3% listed on that. It was just like nothing over there. So I'll be curious to see how this evolves, because I think they did the Oracle thing where recently the first one finished up of like what the closest price to Bitcoin was. They announced the 3 winners today, and the next Oracle question for the next quarter is, what do they think the secondary volume of tribes is going to be? Which that'll be like the secondary volume. So that's going to be that's an interesting one.
That's a hard one.
I would say after this first payout that happens, you're going to get a better idea of what's going to happen with these Gophers.
Well, people are going to really, and I think once they buy the miners too, like in that bulk order, to see what the potential of tribes even is.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. After this first payout, you're really going to see numbers move on both sides as far as Gophers go and tribes go.
The interesting part about them too is it is a 6-month wait to get your first payout for these. So for these first 3 months is pretty much when people have the opportunity to trade, because once that April or whatever it is hits, then they're going to have to actually stake them and to burrow them.
I look at this too, because it's literally buying either a whole miner or a chunk of a miner, a significantly bigger portion of a miner than your regular Gopher. So if you were to go buy a miner on your own, you'd have to wait for that anyway. Yeah, you could take it every week or every month. I'm not really sure how it works like that specifically, but you would still have to wait for it to mine. That's the whole point of mining.
Yeah. Well, people want the instant flip. And I think that's where like the NFT thing is such that mindset of people is so different, where people are like, hey, I'm going to buy this, if it doesn't 10X in a year, then I'm done. And it's like, this is not what this is. Although they've gamified it in a way where it's fun and, they throw some curveballs at you. And then the artwork is, it's just different for everything that they do. So I actually really like the way the collection looked too. Like what
if they did a curveball with this and put it on ordinals? Do you think that would have been received the same or worse?
I don't think it really even mattered, unless it was a low inscription number, because people would have traded it like that. But the whole point of it wasn't necessarily to be like a flip. Yeah, it's like meant to be held on.
Yeah, but I was just saying, just tapping in a different market.
I think they could. I think they could do. They could go into other markets. Like absolutely, they could. So if they wanted to expand this brand overall, right, they could go to a Solana, which Solana seems to be super popular right now. They could go over there, mint, and pay out rewards in Solana instead of like over here on Cardano. They pay it out in Cardano, NADA. They could do the same thing for them over there. I mean, at the end of the day, it's they're purchasing it with fiat and then paying it back in this after mining it. So
absolutely,
they have it. And then, but if it always ties back to the main collection, where like Gophers always get, like the GGMC collection always gets some sort of this, like tribes get 20% of what tribes mine, because they always tie those rewards back to this GGMC original collection. I mean, that could make those things, like you said, potentially, more valuable over time, especially as they grow them. Yeah. The big thing though is that the mining stuff before the halving is really what they're trying to do. So that'll be the real curveball, is like how much, will they switch to other coins and not load up as heavy in Bitcoin once the halving happens? Because they're going to only be able to mine half the rewards that they will be over in April.
Sure. I'm very curious to see how they find that balance to kind of compensate for that. It will be interesting.
I don't know, man. Shout out to the shamans though, dude. If I was to sell one right now outside of the chief, it would be my shaman. That would be one that I would be interested in potentially getting, like, offloading just for a little profit.
Which one?
The shaman Melissa right here.
Any interested buyers? Tommy will take any offers higher than 50 ADA.
I've got people who've hit me up, but I just haven't entertained any of it. Because they want to trade and things like that. I'm gonna stop. If you give me the ADA or don't give me anything, I'm not there to trade. I don't want to go have to sell your stuff afterwards.
Yeah, it's more work. ADA.
Yeah, but dude, shout out to them, man. Shout out to the Livestream recap. Shout out to Gophers over here. One thing that we wanted to dive into, and I don't think we talked about it last go around, was this Hyena coin over here, SocialFi. And we didn't bring this up really. We talked about it briefly over in our Discord. I think Curly Knox and then Lunge were really ones getting into it when it happened. This is back on January 23rd. And some of the controversy of what the overall topic we're going to be talking about kind of stemmed from, like, Cardano Thor. You know, you probably know him if you're in the Cardano space. He got 25,000 followers over on Twitter. He put out a tweet over here talking about, here's why I'm paying close attention to Hyena Coin's SocialFi platform, and just talking about decentralized social media. They had this little, like, trailer video. He actually quote tweeted it and tagged them because he was just generally interested in it, right? About it being decentralized. Well, essentially, if you weren't familiar with what Hyena Coin was, it was basically a decentralized, like, social platform, like kind of maybe like a Facebook or Threads or something like that. But you can monetize, like, your profile, kind of sell your profile a little bit, and people could buy your keys to different accounts. So you had to log in through Twitter.
See, that's the part I didn't understand. That's why I never even got into it. I didn't get, like, what was the purpose of the keys?
The keys were to own a piece of somebody's, like, the more keys that were bought, the higher the price of those keys went. So people were, like, buying, like, Cardano Whale and top people inside the community because they wanted their value to go up and then sell their a piece of that key off.
So who's selling the value? The person with that profile or the person with the key? Because what do the keys actually do?
Just type.
That's all I got from that.
It was literally like, if I'm more hyped than you, if I'm more hyped than you, I can, like, your keys started off. I want to say it was, like, started off at, like, either, like, 8.5 ADA per key or 7.5 ADA or whatever, or something like that per key, right? So you can kind of see this, right? And these are all the different users. And over on the right side, okay, it even started lower than that. It was like 1 point something per key. But the more that people buy your keys, the more the price goes up.
Is it one key or is it just multiple keys you can buy?
You can buy multiple keys for people, but every time you buy a key, the value keeps going up.
What was the purpose of the keys, of holding them?
You owned a piece of that social aspect of that person. So if people found them more valuable, I don't know. It's basically just degens, gambling on each other's profiles of who's more popular.
That was my issue from the start of, like, I couldn't wrap my head around that, so I didn't even get involved. It just sounded stupid to me, if I'm being honest. Like, that, there's no point of owning the keys. I'm gonna call it like it is. It sounded stupid.
Hey, think about it in a way where, like, you're a social media influencer, right, on Instagram, and your profile is worth money because you've got more followers. Like, that's just, like, the world we live in. But in this way, everybody could be a part of your success. You're not selling your
profile, though. You're selling your keys to a profile.
You're
selling a sticker to my profile.
You own a piece of my profile.
What does that get you?
Well, what do you get exactly? What do you
get? If more people buy your stuff, then it goes up in value. They can then.
Why are they buying it?
It's just the key. Yeah,
it's just that's
why do people send money to people for streaming? Why do they do anything? It's just
donations.
Content creators that they enjoy.
Yes.
Well,
why would people give us money to support us so we can?
Well, when they think about here was the other thing about this is when I had F35 on there for a little bit. Our profile, our value was like 35 ADA key at one point on there.
You don't say.
Yeah, it was. And I screenshotted it over on Discord. But when we got royalties when people bought our keys, like, outside of us, we got a cut of royalty in there.
So we're supposed to get that.
Yeah.
So you want to promote your key.
Correct. The whole thing was everybody kept tweeting or inside that little app. And then if they bought their keys, they would get a little, even if people sold it and went down, you still got a little royalty. So your ADA was starting to stack up.
I still think, as the owner of keys, I think that is a silly Ponzi scheme. As a profile owner, it's great. I get a cut of the key, right?
That's agree.
Cool. but buying the keys is just silly to me.
I think it's dumb. I agree.
Yeah,
but if there's a way for money to be made and people to do it, and there's a little like hype, you're just selling. It's basically you're just selling yourself. And people were just posting everything and anything just to get engagement so that people would buy their stuff.
That's
now
what happens then it just becomes bullshit engagement.
It becomes spamming.
Twitter's already at that with the new
and this became worse
and stuff where like your For You page is just like, check out this crazy animal. Here's 4 fight videos. Look at this person yelling. What's gonna happen? This is crazy. You won't believe what happens next. But it's just the same shit reposted from Reddit 9 years ago. Like this just gets reposted to oblivion.
So here was the other thing with this was that once somebody bought your key, then they had access to your like personalized like chat. Like, so people were kind of monetizing a way of like, hey, you can get my exclusive content here once you buy one of my keys. And you could put, right. Or like alpha chats or whatever.
Subscribe to my OnlyFans.
Yeah. Or, hey, get my alpha chat, but by buying my key here. Essentially it is what it was in they were supposed to be, but it was supposed to be a decentralized way. So I know this has been done on other chains. People were dunking on Cardano for this, like, oh my God, look at these idiots. This is the first time they've seen this. And there was another one that absolutely crashed and burned. And then the other thing too about this was like, okay, all these people are putting in money, that's working, it's kind of buggy. And then the next day, like, people couldn't withdraw any of the money that they were either earning or royalties. And all of a sudden, people started to get worried, and they're like, no, we're down for maintenance. Don't worry, guys. We're okay. And then the next day popped up and they posted a big old tweet basically saying, hey, we got some bad news. There's a breach in our wallet and someone gained access and withdrew all the funds last night, totaling 94,000 ADA.
Jeez.
We've reached out to authorities and called centralized exchanges in an effort to track and freeze the funding taken from us. We're at a total loss. And so basically some dev named Lovely Dev, which I guess had worked with Danketsu at some point in the past, and they had fired him. They were just basically a shitty dev. That's from what I understand. And I don't know if the guy built in like a back door or something where he was able to like access and just basically withdraw the money once all that stuff happened, because they weren't like intentionally like trying to rug their own self. They were trying to build this platform up. It just got started. Like, why put in all that work just for it to go away? So I guess they reached out to authorities, and Gate.io had responded to them and froze the accounts, but they still don't have the ADA. And now they're talking to like some Cardano devs right now. So they've got, again, I don't know. I don't know if this is real or not. It looks kind of fake, to be honest with you. But beyond that, they are basically like, we don't have the 92,000 ADA that was stolen. We're working with our best option to come to a resolution. And this also sparked a different type of post over here, because Thor did a follow-up over here, which, I mean, shout out to Thor for, trying to take some accountability, which I don't think he needed to be accountable for. But although it brings up a bigger conversation of like, hey, it looked like they were rugged. We need a better way to vet people. But at the end of the day, he goes, I'm an influencer, I guess, to a degree. And I'm beating myself up for tweeting and tagging this stuff. And same thing with Cardano Whale, because Cardano Whale was posting about it too. And, it made them look bad, right? Like, took a reputation hit to them because they went ahead and talked about it, right? Without really knowing too much about it.
There's a lot of things you could take from that. Like, yeah, that's awesome. He did that, because that could have easily happened to us if we made a post about it. But at the same time, it's like every investor in the space, do your own research. Like, at the end of the day, sit back. What are you purchasing? Look into it. Yeah, you could do the same research we do. This isn't our full-time gig, right? So you could do the same amount of research that we can. That one guy that took all the money, they were a part of Danketsu, so they were already part of a project. So even though they got let go from Danketsu, they were still a part of this community before. So you kind of had trust in some of the people on that team already. It's just an unfortunate situation that happened.
I don't know that. I wouldn't say he's part of the Danketsu team. I think they hired him. I wouldn't say, different than being on the team.
He was a part of that.
It is something that we've come across as well, where it's like, oh, damn, people are actually listening to us. Like, wasn't expecting that. We're a bunch of idiots. We're just here hanging out, sharing our experience with the community. But it's true. We do have an audience. Thor even more so with what he's been doing and has going on. And it is one of those challenging things where you're going to talk about stuff. And like you said, DJ, I mean, I know people come to videos and they use things like YouTube to kind of aggregate or bring all that information to one place where they can just watch one 10-minute video to get an update for the whole week on what is new coming out. But if you're going to do that and then blindly buy projects just based off that 7-minute video that you watched, I mean, then you just got to accept if something like this does happen. Hey, that sucks and it's unfortunate, but it's also like, I mean, it only took 7 minutes. What'd you expect?
Yeah.
And from that 7 minutes, what was the segment? 2-3 minutes of the show. If that's as much research and you have that much trust in the person, you can't. No one's 100%. I wish if we were perfect, we wouldn't be here.
I had to say
we made all the right choices. You know what I mean? We would have. We'd be doing this from totally different, studio setting.
I was just gonna say,
doing great.
To all our viewers, if once you see us doing this daily live streaming and like we're just traveling the world, don't mint anything we mint. Don't listen to what we say because we clearly aren't making it right now. What we're minting, minus Tommy. Tommy doesn't count. But don't mint what we mint. Don't listen to us. Do your own research and find out what you want to mint personally.
You can listen to us all you want, but take responsibility for your stuff.
Exactly. We talk about what we like and what we're involved with. Exactly. 100%.
Yeah. But yeah, if you ever come back and say, hey guys, we told you to buy this, you'll never hear us say, you guys need to go buy this right now. You say, I like this, I'm buying this.
But even still, like we could have a situation like Cardano Thor where you talk about a new thing that you're excited for. That could have easily happened to us.
Yeah,
exactly.
You don't have
your own research.
You get caught in the crossfire.
It sounds good to me. It sounds like something I want to be in.
If we're interested in something, sometimes I can be interested in it without necessarily, wanting to go all in or do anything. I'm like, hey, that's pretty cool. You know what? I just wanted to make a mention. I thought that was cool. And then other people, just because I said that, go out and buy it because of that. That's where I think, yes. I mean, maybe I led you in some way over there because you were interested. You saw it on a post of ours. But at the end of the day, man, it's your money. You need to be responsible with your money. And if you're just blindly throwing it away, then don't expect that, when something like this happens, don't be mad. You can't be too mad about it. And obviously there's other ways, certain language and stuff that can be said where people, that responsibility can be put on you. But I just think something like this where you mention it and things like that because you were generally excited about it. And they also got hurt too. It wasn't like they just, he got absolutely, it was, I got out of there before everything happened. And then just a quick little reminder for anybody who did ever have that, shout out to the Sal for posting that too. If you guys allowed them access to your Twitter, make sure you revoke that in a Twitter settings.
That was the other sketch thing I thought too. Is like, why do you need my Twitter?
Well, that was how everything posted. So it
logged you in through. I thought it was
like Raiders Guild and things like that. Like
all right, I got
an API. It's just an API. That's all it was. So yeah, make sure you guys revoke that, which I did that over on our F35 one as well. But
one thing I did see though, he did say he was giving one of his personal Little Sappy whitelist giveaways. Yo, Little Sappies, where you at? We haven't been contacted yet. You can reach us on our Twitter DMs, our Discord. But we're ready to listen and take some whitelists. Appreciate it.
TJ wants a sappy. All right.
TJ really wants the saps.
I do.
That's nice too. Yeah, I think someone called him out about. I did see that. Someone was kind of like, "Oh, you're real nice gesture. You're giving away something you were already going to give away." And he was like, "No, this is like a personal one. I'm just giving it back." Like,
yeah, somebody called him out over there. I don't know where that was.
People always got something to say.
Yeah, this guy. He's like, sorry to give away whitelist. And he's like, I was going to use the whitelist to mint an NFT for myself, not give away. I didn't partner with them. Just shared my opinion. No compensation. But dude, yeah, you can't win on the internet. It doesn't matter what you do. Again, shout out to Thor though. Being a stand-up guy inside a community.
Absolutely.
Speaking of not some stand-up guys.
Talk about the other guys.
If you're betting on some other people inside of space, and like this goes back to just paid shills and things like that about disclosure. There was a big discussion in regard to this. I don't know. Did you guys mention the bet token at all on the week that I wasn't here?
We just mentioned that there is casino NFT projects coming to Cardano. We didn't mention any token.
I didn't really want to get any endorsing them directly, just because I'm not.
Yeah. You weren't sure, right?
Well, I'm still not super on board with any of them either. Like, you're going to see these come up. It's, I don't know, gambling's a whole thing.
I even said too, like with these coming out, I said it's probably gonna be janky at first. I said I'm gonna sit on the sidelines and just watch, see how it goes. That's literally what I said.
And I'm just not necessarily a big gambler. I enjoy gambling more for like the social aspect, sitting at a table with buddies for a couple hours or something. Yeah. But I mean, if I go and lose $200 in 10 minutes, like, this is stupid. I'm out of here. This is fucking dumb. Like, why did I just do this? It's like when you go bowling and you roll a gutter ball first time and you're like, this is stupid. Why are we here? Can we get nachos or something?
I use bumpers.
It's such a stupid sport.
Man. But yeah, no, this was interesting too, because I guess this apparently the lovely dev also was somewhat involved with the ADA shuffle for this bet token, so that freaked people out automatically. I guess they were able to stop whatever to stop any losses from happening. But
I bet I can guess what time people were freaking out.
Well, no, that
red candle that just dropped.
That, but then there was also more to this story, and there were some people inside the space, or at least one that had a Bored Ape named like Fiddy. You can see him right here, Fiddy.snack, which he still holds a decent bag of it. I guess he holds more apparently than what he had. But these guys were paid, paid in this bet token to promote and market the coin, and along with another guy like a Dolphin or something like that. Not too familiar with them, but the interesting part about this was they were doing like a Twitter space to kind of talk about the token and like the platform and things like that. And somebody found out, did some research, shout out to Tap Tools over there, that these guys were dumping like 30,000 like ADAs worth of this token, or selling it off during that space while they were talking about it.
They're not the first, and they won't be the last ones to do that. Just saying.
Yep. Well,
how many YouTubers did that shit in like 2021 back in the day when all those shit coins came out?
DeFi tokens, yep.
All of them did it. All those big YouTubers did it.
Early buying. They'd get the pre-sale, get all that money early on, and then make 5 videos about it and dump it on the sale.
Absolutely.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. And I just think because of the blockchain, the way, people are getting smarter on how to research some of this stuff. And it's interesting because you can see like people are watching these accounts now to see what happens with them. And I think that's super interesting. Fiddy Snack has traded over 38,000 in volume. He sold 36,000 ADAs worth of this token right now. But I don't know what he bought. But anyway, that just brought up the reason we bring that whole topic up is that the nature and the context of what you're doing out here, this has been going on forever throughout crypto, and why a lot of people hate crypto for scams, right? But now with some of the stuff, people are getting smarter to the point though where like marketing, when you hear about these people who have these big accounts because either they bought followers or they gained a following from a profile pic or just being active in the community enough, people will listen to these people. But at the end of the people will pay them ridiculous amounts of money to go promote something, and then these people then in turn sell it and make a ridiculous bag and pretty much dump it on the community, and that is not good, especially from a legal standpoint too. Then that's where you start getting into some hot water.
Well, that's the thing. If you get caught like they did in the space, that was dumb of them to do that. Obviously, I'm not condoning that at all. All I'm saying is this happens all the time, more than we probably think and know. And it happened so much so in 2021 with all those shit tokens. I'm saying that again because it did. If you're going to follow anyone, you just do your own research. If you're going to follow anybody in the space about tokens and coins, I'm not saying that because you're just on their show, but he did a great analysis on that episode. Viva La Coin, he is smart as a tack when it comes to like coins. If you want to know how he analyzes stuff and how he gets involved in projects, listen to that video and literally do what he does, because he is very smart and methodical about it.
That's financial advice, TJ.
I'm telling you to watch our video. That's some good advice. Watch our video. Put him on it.
But no, I think for me or Tom, you guys are.
I mean, I definitely agree. I mean, what TJ's saying is just if you're going to do it, don't get caught, dummies.
Yeah.
Be smart about it. That's pretty much what he's saying. Definitely not new for any space in general when it comes to this side of things, especially with the decentralized nature of it, so that there is also then not the same regulations, not the same authority, to kind of punish those kind of actions or as easily. So it's going to happen. That's why the common phrase is, this isn't like something new. I feel it's fucking annoying saying this all the time. It's just like, do some research. Don't be like, oh, the man with lots of people that follow him on the Bluebird app said it in the funny space. So I put $800 into it and I lost it all. What the fuck, guys?
Yeah, I'm blaming
that. You idiot.
No, anytime that does happen, like if you're a fan or a follower or someone like that, and then you just get dumped on from them, it instantly like crushes you. Like, damn, I trusted you. Like I followed you a lot this whole year. I listened to your spaces. I listened to your tweets or your threads that you have going out. Then you just dumped on us as you're literally promoting tacos. That is a shitty thing to do, honestly. Like I said, that happens a lot, and it happened a lot.
Well, the problem is the people keep continuing to follow them after the fact, and they just keep supporting no matter what. You know, that's the issue, and they'll catch somebody new every single time, and that's why I think like bringing it to light and calling people out on that stuff, and hopefully,
always if you can.
It's a shitty thing to have to deal with, just in general. But at the same time, like you said, when we talk about being responsible or the hardest part about this, and I think maybe if you're like a promoter or like how can you market in an effective way, like that's the other conversation. Like, okay, like I actually am legit, I feel like I'm legit, we have good intentions to market this. I would like to be paid for my efforts to market, but Absolutely. How can I? But there's different ways to do that where there would be vested, right? Like over time. So you don't automatically just, you know, how much of the supply do you hold if you're being allocated that for marketing? Like if I had 5% of the total like liquidity pool and just dumped it immediately, that would probably nuke the token and ruin everything. Or it can come for the other fact of, hey, why is pay me in dollars? Like you guys, whatever that, instead of paying the token, because essentially if somebody pays you in that token, with the anticipation of it probably going up, the people who are really paying for your marketing is the community, because you're just dumping on them.
When you sell
exactly.
Yeah. When you actually cash it in, 100%.
Yeah. So then, in reality, if they're doing that and they're not even willing to put up their own capital to hire you, then that can easily, you don't want 80 people.
Sure.
But even those shit coins, though, like those YouTubers were getting a paid amount to market, and they're also getting a token amount to market. So they were getting paid a dollar amount to promote their video, but they're also getting a token amount. So when the token
they doubled up on the piece.
They did 100%. That happened all the time on YouTube.
Yeah, well, like I said,
and it's going to happen again in the bull run. So just be careful of what you're investing in.
Yeah,
if you see 100x on any thumbnail, don't mint that token.
I am absolutely putting 100x.
NFAFA.
Bro, Safe Moon, 100x, next 100x coin, next 1000x.
100x all over the thumbnails tomorrow.
If I see any Cardano YouTubers that in that next run that say 1000x NFT on Cardano, I'm just going to go laugh in their comments. That's not happening, dude. There's no way those are happening. But it'll be funny to kind of watch. But yeah, I agree. I just think that whole broader perspective and that topic of people being paid to shill and then like the context of people doing it and actually just dumping it while promoting it on top of you. We've seen like obviously what's his name, Shilmo Baggins and other things. He's gotten a ton of shit. And it ruins your credibility and a lot of the reasons, the money gets to people's heads and I'm like, I don't really care. I'll sell my integrity just for a little quick dollar. And that ends up ruining people. And then, like I said, legal things as time goes on and wallets get more visible to people and it's easier to see these things. Like there can be legal ramifications for that too, Tom. We were talking about it on the other side of like, well, I didn't know I couldn't do that. And it's like, well, that
Sorry,
sucks.
Officer.
Didn't know that, right?
Didn't know
and then,
you didn't know? It's okay. Slap on the wrist this time.
Yeah, don't worry about it.
Next time, don't do it though. Now know, but don't do it again.
Yeah. But yeah, that's where, I don't know. There's going to be some rude way. We already seen that happen with other people and big people inside the space and people that have scammed people. It's going to get brought to light more. I just thought that was an interesting topic. A quick little one over here and shout out. Do you guys still use Nami wallet?
I have it on my desktop.
Original F35 wallet.
But I use the Vesper.
My swash shredder one. I still use it for that.
I use Nami every now and then on the desktop, but I've really transitioned a lot over to Vesper, and I do like Eternal just because it's got all my wallets in a nice, more visible state.
I have a bone to pick with Eternal. It keeps erasing my wallets. So I'm done with Eternal.
Yeah, I used to have that problem with them too. That was a pain in the ass. But Nami, if we haven't really followed up on them, Alessandro is no longer in control. He sold it off to IOHK. Now it's maintained by them. I don't know what kind of sale or whatever happened to it, but I know he's not there anymore with it. And they've updated it a bit. But the big joke today was that it doesn't work for anybody anymore.
Yo, before we got on stream, I was telling you, I went to JPG and it said I had 0 ADA. I had a heart attack for a second. I was like, that doesn't even make sense. Just 0 ADA. Let me go check real quick. Cool PM is still some ADA. I'm like, okay, so my stuff.
Well, they changed over some stuff too. Like you can delegate to any Cardano stake pool, which you could have done before through pool.pm. They got a new privacy policy. Also, when I clicked into it, they asked me if they wanted to track like my progress or whatever, my history. I said, fuck no. I said, definitely decline that.
And then please take some one-on-one time, go through your internet search history.
Yeah, man. And then it says goodbye to the legacy Cardano testnet. We removed the option to connect to it. And then everybody was just freaking the fuck out the other day about this. So I don't know. Obviously got some kinks to work out. Mine still, like right now, if I'm clicking on it, it seems to be working for now, but I don't know. We'll see. I haven't really tried to mess around with it too much. But I don't know. What do you think about Nami being in control of IOHK at this point? That's pretty big for Alessandro.
It's good for him. Good business, in my opinion. It's like Tom with MySpace. Look at Tom now in MySpace, making all that money, heading out.
That dude deserves it, man. He built this wallet extension. He minted out space, but like NFT scene was really like brought to life by him early on. So dude, you get to cash out your bag, dude. Get fucking paid. Do your thing. Just hopefully the people that are maintaining it actually do a good job. It even looks like it's got a little like font change over here. I don't know. Maintained by IOHK. We'll see. We'll see what happens with that. But speaking of things changing, really good on the topics change tonight over here. OMEN.
Oh,
catching a little bit of heat. Catching a little bit of heat today over here. Outside? They were catching people outside over here. So Viva and them, and we've seen this with the SNEC trait. I remember I had the big SNEC energy, which had like the normal looking SNEC, but then like I don't know, a couple days later, it changed to like the glowing eyes one. And I was like, oh, that's cool. Today Viva posted a thing, and then as well as OMEN said, surprise if you have another OMEN with the snot bubble trait, which I wasn't never a fan of that trait really either. Go take another look. And he said, Victor and Nemo always keep us on our toes. So if you had this trait, which was widely kind of just like a little drool snot bubble, not really an appealing trait, was now changed to this like kind of smoke out the nose, like kind of like a bowl or something you see in like a cartoon.
Like dope looking smoke.
I do too. I think it looks good. Although I saw somebody get wrecked on this. They had like, that little snail that sits on the shoulder. They ended up covering up the snail with the smoke that wasn't originally there.
Really?
Yeah. So I can imagine they'll be able to fix stuff like that, because they did like the SNEC layering also had some of that issue at one point too, and they fixed that. But it brought up the more whether you like the change or not. It brought up a bigger point of contention over here, because Viva put out another big post because people were like, well, dude, what do you mean it's supposed to be decentralized? You're changing my stuff without, even giving me the option to vote if I want to change it or not. I never asked for this to happen. I like that trait. I sold that trait off because I hated that trait. Now you're telling me it's fixed, and maybe I wouldn't have got rid of it if it looked like that in the first place. And it brought up a bigger conversation over here when it came to like open people started saying, oh, this is a problem with SIP 68. And it's not a SIP 68 thing. It's an open policy thing. They're open until for 13 years or something like that, their policy. So that allows them to change whatever. And then it brings up the other topic of like, well, do you really have decentralized? Do you really have control of your NFTs at all? If the owners of these people can just change them if they have open policies whenever they want.
It's not, I don't think, a problem with anything. I think that's amazing and very cool technology that's going to allow some projects to do some really cool things that are planned within the project so that they can develop over time. But I think it really just needs to be open communication is what it is. In that case, like, hey, is this wholly mine? Do I fully own this? Or do you still retain some rights to it in some way so that if you don't like something or want to change something, you are able to without my consent? I just think that, I don't think it's cool to just go do it. I don't think that was a good move on the OMEN's team. Just because it's just not taking into consideration those people that have held, which they've done so well so far. It's just one of those, it's a more minor thing at least, but definitely it just needs to be open communication. Hey, if you're purchasing this before mint, you need to know that, it's possible that we may change a few things with the art, or we are going to retain that control to change things as we feel. That needs to be said.
Well, this to me, he put out another post over here basically saying that when people bought into this, they originally were freaking out about the 80% royalty without really knowing that we were going to give you 100% to holders. We wanted to see who kind of would buy in for the right reasons of just being a part of the project. And then, and to this point here, it said, this may not be a permanent thing, but we want to test the vision of Victor wanted this was more the vision for the artwork that he kind of had after the fact. Him and Nemo came up to do this, and they said this isn't necessarily a permanent thing. We can always mess around with some of this stuff, but we wanted to see like kind of the reaction also to some people, and that's why I said we like to shake things up. They were saying, and maybe we have different outlooks and different. With the vision that for our project this is where we're taking it, so we want creative control for that. But they're saying that we'll definitely hear you guys out, and this isn't forever. Maybe we just wanted to see what would happen, kind of thing. We like to shake it up a little bit over here and test the boundaries of what people do and what you can do over here inside this space.
Is there an option to go back and forth, or no? It's completely changed.
Not yet, but okay. So here's the other side to that, right? What if like right now there isn't, but they say, you know what, tomorrow, yeah, we're going to give you the option. If you want to swap between the two, you can do that.
That's great.
There we go. See, now they're listening. I'm sure I'm glad to hear they're doing well. I wouldn't imagine anything less. But that's all it takes. It's just like, hey man, just let me know beforehand. Give me the option maybe. I can see what they're saying from their point of view, but then I don't know, communicate that a little bit quicker before people start freaking out, and kind of.
They kind of want to see people sweat, though. I think is what it was. And I think that's what kind of got some people freaked out a little bit.
It was like a trust fall. Like, all right, who really trusts me in this community?
And that's why I said you want to shake some shit up to see what people do.
That's the trust fall.
I don't know. It's kind of a weird way to shake things up, though, because it's kind of a like a jump scare to people that didn't know like was a thing. You know what I mean? It's like you go to open your freezer and your neighbor's sticking his head through the wall into your freezer, and then you're just like, hey, just testing it, see what you're gonna do. All right, guys. And it's like, dude, now there's a guy in my freezer. Like, he has access to my apartment. This is scary. Like, it's a lot more than just testing it one time. Like, what are they gonna do possibly in the future? There's still it's like a little bit. It's a weird way to kind of scare people.
Well, they did kind of a jump scare, but on a positive note with the whole 100% of royalties going back to the holders, because they didn't disclose that before the mint. They just said, hey, by the way, now that the mint's over, all of the profits are going back to you guys. Everyone was cool with that one.
I think, but if I could break into your house or something, TJ, like if I just like you came home one day and I was sitting in your living room and I was like, just a joke, man, just shaking things up, I'm out of here. And you're like, well, wait, we need to address the fact that you can get into my home and I'm not here. Like, that's a problem. All right, cool, fun test or whatever. But like, how do we fix this problem now? Because I thought I bought this and it's just changing. And you're like, haha, just JK.
That window back there is a little squeaky. You can get in and out of it. No problem.
I actually used your key and pressed it into the Hershey's bar.
You found the rock?
Here was a post that I was looking for from Viva, because he goes, there's also more time than one day. The policy's open for 13 years for a reason. Prior to any updates, no one even acknowledged or cared that it was an open policy. Just like people criticize the PHCR for high royalties, only for it to be given back 100% afterwards. In the interim, as you work towards broader implications of decisions, there's a certain portion of the community that won't like the ideas or want to participate at all. But to assess why it wasn't considered or assessed shows how set in our ways or just expecting of what is expected without even realizing parameters of what we participate in. And he goes, in time, the art in the community is always a top priority. But I think they're playing around with it, and they're also kind of like being like, you guys will throw money at anything when money is the main factor or the motivator here, but you guys don't even consider what you're buying into or really looking into it. It's like the terms and conditions on like South Park, right? Of like, I don't even know what I'm buying here. I just bought it because there was some hype or I like the way that looked. I didn't even consider what could happen in this, or I didn't even question this at all because I didn't even think to look in there about it.
Like some
lesson, I mean, I guess it's still, though, it's kind of like maybe people did see it as an open policy and they're not going to complain because they're like, hey, I'm putting my trust in you as a project and as a founder and a leader. And it also leaves the door open, like I said, for you to do a lot of cool things potentially with the project that everyone's into and agrees with, and maybe increases the value of the NFTs themselves. So why not leave that open? Why restrict yourself to just that, where it mints? Or even just fixing things that you catch down the road, things like that. I don't know, using the other thing where it's like, hey, no one liked this other idea until we gave you a bunch of money. And it's like, yeah, we gave us money that time. So that's why we were okay with it afterwards. Are you going to give us money this time to not change the NFTs? Like, I don't know. I don't like the analogy. I don't think that really applies, but I still love the OMEN project. It's just, that's kind of weird.
I think Nemo is just like, all right, all these people are now like,
fun with it.
He's like, all right, you guys are buying. You guys love the ADA. All right, you guys are a part of this. You bought into that because you're getting paid right now. What if you didn't get paid? Would you still like it?
Wait, what?
Do you only like me for my money? You know, it's that kind of like analogy, right?
It does remind me of the terms and conditions, though. Absolutely that too.
Yeah.
Just like there was a Black Mirror like that, or no, I think it was from the new season where they had like a girl comes home and turns on Netflix.
Yes, that was great.
And they have a show made about
her. Yeah, I remember watching. That's the girl from what's it?
Alexis
Creek.
Yes, Alexis.
Yeah, I watched that one.
She's just like, how can this is not legal at all? And they're like terms and conditions, like on your iPhone or whatever, whatever they call it, Black.
Hey, you gave her your consent to use her image and your likeness. Yeah.
Yep.
Absolutely. I don't know.
Yeah, I think, and he's making a good point there. Then with that response, I do like that. That's kind of what I was trying to say. Is that when you're before mint, even with these projects, that's something that maybe needs to be more of a standard, where they kind of are openly specific about what they're going to do, as far as if there's going to be changes made or how much control they will have, or if that'll be a potential thing that happens. Because then if you know beforehand, you know what you're getting into. Like he's saying, just know what you're minting before you spend 150 ADA on it or 900 ADA on it.
When we've just become so complacent and with the fact of this is just how it is. Yep. And now they're kind of challenging that. And that's one thing I think Charles brought up way back when within his whole gripe with NFTs. He's like, do you guys own that? Is that on a centralized server where those images can disappear one day? Like, what do you get? Oh, is there like a contract like signed with that where you can use this stuff? Can you not use it? Like, do you even know what you can do with that technology, or can they take that away from you? Do you even know that? Do you care about that?
No, I know I can.
And that's all it is. It's the dollar sign. Everybody cares about that, but when that becomes irrelevant, that's when the problems start.
Exactly.
And so I like that.
This isn't necessarily like a new thing. Remember when the assignment went poorly and they just voided all the ones that had gotten stolen? Yep. So it's like, and there's been other projects we've seen have made changes to the art and things like that. So this isn't
anything new.
So this is all summertime noobs or something. What's going on here?
We just recycle conversations over here. But, and again, I think it all pushes the space forward at some point, because, when they do the challenge this, or maybe they do set a new standard where people need to like opt in or actually read about this. So then when the next one happens, they're kind of like, if you know Viva and those guys in that team, they're not just like this little cash hungry, like money flipping group where they just want to extract all your stuff. If we talk, if you listen to the episode with Viva on our show, like, dude, that guy, he's all for like Viva La Coin, right? Like, fuck the system. We're here to liberate, and change the future here. So I can't imagine that him being a part of that team is sitting over here like, all right, how can we really fuck these people over? If anything, they're probably testing the limits of like, how can we educate people to really like who want to be here with us? And then, at the end of the day, we're always going to give, take into consideration our community and figure out what the best option is. But I do like the Nemo dude. He'll just ping you and he'll be like, surprise, motherfuckers. Yeah, he just jumps in and then kind of throws you off guard for a second. And people are going to have to like, I don't know, be on their toes a little bit still. So,
I mean, and to be fair, in this case, people it's a good conversation topic, especially on Twitter, if you want to be outraged or just talking, discussions, and engagement. Like you said, it opens a lot of conversations on knowing about things. But yeah, it was pretty ultimately harmless. It does sound like there's cases where that one asset was covered up, the snail, but I mean, they could just change it back. You know what I mean? It's not like, unless he was like,
open a ticket and get it changed.
Unless he was like specifically like, someone offered me $4 million for this and I need it for my cancer treatment and I couldn't sell it because the snail got covered up, and it's like that. You know what I mean? It's like, it's not a big
explaining that to people.
My
snail got covered. I couldn't fucking sell it.
Got covered up by smoke because they got rid of the booger nose one.
What are you guys doing again?
Bubble.
I like that snot bubble. Fuck you guys.
That was that's the only other project I can think of. The Nerds and Virgins one. They had a lot of
terrible.
Anything that like snot, like dumb traits like that, drooling.
It's like what are those trash garbage pail kids? Garbage pail kids.
Trash garbage pail kids. I'm trying to think.
No, I think it's just garbage pail kids. Garbage pail kids.
JPEG junkies.
Can't believe you guys don't know Garbage Pail Kids.
The other trend I thought they were going to change because I had it on my crown was the crying eyes. I wasn't a fan of the eyes on the crying.
Dude, what do you mean? That's the whole point of Sad Boys, dude. That's that whole faction, the Sad Boys.
Because the crying eyes one? That's funny.
Yeah, they're just Sad Boys, dude. You can't change that one. I don't know. Yeah,
or something.
I thought maybe like I know people don't like the cone head one too. They weren't a big fan of that.
I like the cone head one.
I like that one.
That's what I'm saying though. Like for every reaction you guys have like that, there's somebody who's like, dude, I love that snot bubble. What do you mean? I don't know. Yeah. It's just people that are partial to it. But
off his hands.
Yeah, you can have that opinion, but you're wrong. You are wrong.
You didn't change your voice, by the way.
I know. I thought about doing it and I failed. We saved those for the live streams these days, you know. Live streams get a little rowdy, you know.
As of late, you get a little rowdy.
Yeah, we'll calm down the rowdiness for Monday. Maybe we won't. I don't know. Maybe we'll talk some fuckery.
I'm ready to get some cocktails this coming Monday. I'm ready to go.
Hey, I'm at the match you next time.
Yeah.
We're gonna start the Tuesday stream, Toasty Tuesdays.
Ooh, I like Toasty Tuesdays.
I like Toasty Tuesdays.
See, that would be like if we did Twitter Spaces, that would be a great Twitter Space name too. Toasty Tuesdays.
We don't let anyone come up and talk. It's just 30-minute monologues about pitching.
Yes.
About NFTs.
No, you let people come up and then you just mute them and you keep going. just keep going.
Are you going to tell us about our project or not? Okay.
Like, I really like Raccoon Syndicate. Let me tell you about Raccoon Syndicate.
Fuck no. Fuck that. Fuck them. Fuck you. We're done.
Let's
go back down.
Let me tell you how I got in this situation.
Yeah, but don't. By the way, not fuck you, Timmy. That wasn't me. Know what I was saying. Just clarify that.
Random project name. Yeah.
Absolutely love Timmy the cat.
There we go.
I haven't heard that in a while.
I
Meows in the chat.
Can I get some meows in the chat? Some meows in the chat.
I don't know what that sounds like.
Comments afterwards. Come to the comments. Talk about the Garbage Pail Kids. Because am I going crazy?
I have an idea what you're talking about.
Garbage
Pail Kids. The streetwear ones.
They were
I thought that was Soho Kids.
Soho Kids.
On, like, cards or whatever.
On cards?
Yeah, they were a card thing or something. Then they made like I remember when we were little, they had like movies or something.
Are you talking about a real thing that's not an NFT?
No, not an NFT. No.
Oh, it is card. Yeah, that's a real thing.
Gross little monster thing.
I would have never guessed that.
1987.
You guys ever get the homies that little like gotcha quarter machines like at the supermarket?
Garbage Pail Kids is what it's called.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you don't know what those are. That's your like.
Oh, dude, yeah, I know 100% what those are. Okay, now I know.
Right?
Okay,
absolutely.
Everybody in chat right now wants to know what these. Yeah. Oh, I got you. Okay. You can give you a quick little preview for everybody. Give 1 second here.
All right, we're gonna start the Garbage Pail Kids NFT on Ethereum.
You know what it costs 9,000
Yeah. $35,000.
It reminds me of actually what do you call it? Cardano Kids. Maybe that's where their inspiration came from. To be honest with you, I wouldn't be surprised, to be honest with you, because it looks very similar to Cardano Kids.
I want you to be honest with me.
I'm very honest with you. This is 100% their inspiration. This is literally a carbon copy of it. We're over here like discovering that for the first time. They're probably like, yeah, dude, you idiots.
Obviously.
Yeah, stupid.
100%.
Stupid.
You guys didn't buy shit from the little gotcha quarter machines like at the supermarket?
Oh,
yeah. They used to have the homies. Remember the set of the homies?
I never had the homies. We used to have the alien necklace and the slap things.
I love the alien. Remember the alien stickers? Just there used to be like
I used to go for the necklace, the little rope necklace, the alien metal charm on it.
Mm-hmm. I remember the alien stickers too.
Those slap hands are awesome.
Slap hands were good.
You used to get dirty though, like, and you see like
they were like dirt and like
disgustingness.
Yeah. Well, boys, it sounds like we're about to wrap it up over here on the back end. Wrap it up on the back end. Not rock it out. I love how there's now two distinctive ways to wrap the show. You can wrap it or you can rock it. But you can't put rap and rock. Or can you?